All right, good afternoon. So tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock my time, we are playing Symbaroum Session 4. Again, we're rotating GMs in this Symbaroum campaign, which means we all have characters, and this will be my second run. David's GM'd us, Dell's GM'd us. I'm not certain who all is going to be there tonight. I'm hoping Todd will make it. Justin may or may not. I don't know. But for sure, it looks like Dell. So Shig, Dell's character, Shig, the goblin, ritualist, and David's character, Malleus, the basically ex-Queen's army soldier. So we've had my first session. I just introduced them to a Blackmore, which is called Thistle Scold, which is a tent city not far from Thistlehold. They met Rigel, who's been their sponsor, our sponsor, I should say, and he gets us contracts and pays all of our overhead, etc., and sends us on contracts. So in my game, we were breaking in Davokar, the Bright Davokar. We were breaking in the concepts, so to speak, getting to know the characters. Had a simple little, and I made it too big for the 2-hour window I had promised. I had a little too much going on as far as Hex Crawl, along with the actual final destination. Worked great, but it was just longer than it should have been. And it was very prepared. It was very linear. They were going to go to this point. Now, what wasn't prepared was whether they hex crawled and got lost over here or whatever. So the hex crawl stuff, but somewhere they were going to encounter the right spot. They had a map, etc. So they were going to get there. It was just a matter of how many days in or how, whatever, and what might occur on the random hex crawl chart. The second session, David took us deeper into the Davokar and introduced some of that corruption and that magic, which was sweet. Of his introduction to my character, Shig's second session, and we survived it, but we ran for our lives once we realized that we were part of a ritual. And matter of fact, we were going to be the victims, so to speak, for that ritual to be completed. So that was fantastic. And David introduced us to that darker Davokar, more corruption, and more of this particular wicked magic. Dell took us to the Mesa, took us to the Karavasti, to the barbarians stronghold, and introduced us to Prios, the church of the gods of Prios, right? The sun gods, and a very cool blood moon corrupt magic. We had to grab this priest who's clearly in violation of something and bring him back, and we managed to do that. And that game was very dangerous. My character was very hurt. David, I think, took a lump or two. We barely got out of that slaughter of the pilgrims with Dell's game and down into the Davokar, and then we're able to get back and complete that contract for Rigel and return the priest unharmed to the authorities, so to speak, via Rigel. So session 4, I'm taking us outside the Davokar. This is a different kind of contract. Rigel, and I've already introduced that as a video. The interlude introduction. They have spent a month with a noble family. This noble family happens to be the oldest son, his wife, and 4 children of the Chamberlain of the Queen, and they had been their escort bodyguards to get them to their summer estate, nestled in the the foothills of the Raven Mountains, just northwest of Mergile, the city, and it's an estate basically along the foothills of the Ravens. And they've spent 2 weeks with this family, enjoying the estate. They've had full reign. They break bread at every meal with John and his wife and the kids, and they meet their dinner guests, as obviously there's a lot of socializing as people come out to their summer home, etc. But the gist of it is they were hired to get them from Thistlehold to this home, and then they were supposed to escort the family. They're supposed to escort the family to Yndaros for the foundation holidays, or I should say so it'd be a string of festivals celebrating the foundation of the new Ambrian empire. So think of this as like the 4th of July. Well, 4th of July is Independence Day, but this would be like a foundation week of festivals and games and parties, and a big Yndaros. So it's going to be like a holiday season. Well, they have gotten them safely to their summer home. They've enjoyed 2 week stay. The session starts with them having been drugged at dinner the night before with their latest dinner guest, a mercenary warrior named Symbaroum. They wake up to find his note. He has taken the royal family hostage or kidnapped, and he is telling the characters ultimately, let the Chamberlain know he must do what we want done, or his family will die. His oldest son, wife, children, grandchildren will die. And they're holding him hostage to put pressure on the Chamberlain to do something the Iron Pact has demanded that he do. And he signs it Chavarot of the Iron Pact. So this is kind of a subterfuge, Iron Pact working in a subterfuge way against the Queen via his Chamberlain's family. Okay, and that's how I'm going to start it. So they're going to be on an estate north east. It's actually northeast. I said northwest, northeast. So Yndaros is almost in the center of the map. This is northeast along the Raven West Mount, or the Raven mountain range, nestled just northeast again of a little city called Mirgile. And they're going to get a taste of, so there's no Davokar. So right now in the session, conceivably, they could end up in the Davokar. It's going to be up to them. But they're going to wake, having been heavily sedated and drugged, to find this note and to find the state of the estate, so to speak, and to find that this is what they're going to be dealing with. So it's going to put us in the mountains, or close to the mountains, in the plains. And then, of course, there's Mirgile, the city. And then, of course, there's Yndaros, the capital. And I don't know what direction they're going to go. So this is not so linear. So my first one was very linear. It was a acts 1 through 12, so to speak, acts whatever it was, 6 with some acts having multiple stages. This one, it's going to be up to them. They've got to investigate, and then they've got to decide what the best course of action is. They are charged with being escorts and the bodyguard to this family for travel. That's why they've been allowed to stay on the estate for 2 weeks and enjoy themselves and be relaxed, because the family has a guard and full-time guards, but they don't leave the estate, right? So they were meant to be the guards when they traveled. And now they find themselves being given a note by Chavarot to take this pressure, so to speak, to the Chamberlain. But again, they may choose not to. They may choose to investigate, try to rescue the family themselves. They may choose to who knows what they'll choose to do. But anyway, could go multiple directions depending on what occurs and what they choose to do. But I love Symbaroum. I've talked about this before. It is a player-facing game. They roll all the dice. The GM is free to ultimately narrate what's happening and what contests come up via scenes. It's very simple to adjudicate in the sense that they always roll attributes, and you're just modifying their attributes. Hey, this is very hard, -5 from your cunning, to decipher this coded message or something, right? Whatever it might be. So it's very cool, and of course it's dark fantasy. With corruption being a major portion of the game. And again, so I'm just pulling us out of that Davokar treasure hunt idea, right? And placing them into the mountains where we're more free to escape the canon of the Symbaroum core rulebook, which is really the Davokar, the bright Davokar, the dark Davokar. They may still encounter corruption and things in the mountains, but I'm free to create a culture, or I'm free to create a kind of a different kind of session, basically, that way. And of course we can always do that, but so I'm looking forward to it tonight. It's going to be fun. They're going to be up against it depending on how many there are. If there's 3 of them, 3 or 4 characters, things are always better with more characters. They are higher level than they were when we started, so they're a little more competent, but things could get very dicey for them in this session. Just depends on what they choose to do and what occurs, right? So anyway, thank you for watching. Also, I wanted to do this because I'm testing out my new not new. I've had this for a long time. I just never used it. My what do they call this? White ball, blue ball microphone or whatever. I've had it for a long time. Got it at Walmart years ago and never really used it. I think I may have had it out and used it briefly in some podcast stuff I was doing a couple of years ago. But I thought I would try it, see if it's better than the mic that's on the camera here above my monitor. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.